Hey everyone, this is Mason and you're listening to HerbRally. Today's episode is a clip from an interview I did with Michael Skeeter Pilarski on the Herbalist Hour. And Michael is actually one of the organizers for the fantastic event coming up August 16th to the 18th in beautiful Washington State called the Northwest Herbal Fair. This has been a long-running classic herbalism event, and whether you're in the Pacific Northwest or not, I highly recommend you check it out and see if you can attend. If you'd like to save 10% off any ticket price, that includes weekend passes, day passes, etc., you can use coupon code HERBRally10. Big thanks to the Northwest Herbal Fair crew for giving the HerbRally audience a special discount code. Again, that's HERBRally10 at checkout to save 10% off any ticket price. To learn more and register, you could go to nwherbalfair.com. They have over 90 workshops and 60 presenters. There's going to be music, education, networking, friendship, camaraderie, and celebration. So it is not to be missed. It takes place in Quilcene, Washington, if I'm getting that correctly, if I'm saying that correctly, but August 16th to the 18th. Learn more and register at nwherbalfair.com. And don't forget to use coupon code HERBRally10 at checkout to get 10% off any ticket price. I will be sure to leave links at the very tippy top of today's podcast show notes. Now enjoy today's episode with none other than Michael Skeeter Pilarski. Talk to you soon. So let's get into some story time. I was at an event. I want to say it was in Portland. Maybe it was the Portland Plant Medicine Gathering, and I took a class with Noah McBride, and he was bringing up this story where he was out wildcrafting with you, and I want to say there was some sort story related to Balsamroot and how the Balsamroot was peering at the sun in the morning, and I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but it just it made me want to meet you. And it just sounded like such a fun and magical experience. And I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts or opinions on the underappreciated Balsamroot, Balsamorhiza sagittata, if I recall.
Yes, correct. So Balsamorhiza or balsamroot is a fascinating herb, and it's like many flowers do this. The flowers will follow the sun. And so as the sun moves across the sky, they like to keep their faces in the sun, sunflowers. It's like, oh, the leaves are making photosynthesis, but the flowers are also gathering energy. And maybe I could go off on all kinds of story tangents here, but I will say that just as the leaves, the photons of the sun hit the leaves take them in and with their chlorophyll and use them to create sugars and cellulose and perfumes and plant herbivore deterrents and all kinds. It's a chemical factory powered by the sun. But each leaf is a solar panel. The unseen realm, the nature spirit fairy realm, they take other parts of the sun's energy and feed it, transfer it to the plant. And in a sense, they're a transferal agency. So the plant does not live by sunshine alone, but by other particles, you might say more spiritual or cosmic particles that is also emitted by the sun. And so maybe that's why the flowers like to follow the sun. Mm-hmm. In a sense, there's something going on more than mere photosynthesis or something like that. Balsamroot are one of the most underappreciated medicinal plants in the Western U.S. There's a huge amount of it. You could never unsustainably wildcraft it because cows don't like to eat it. And as a result, all this rangeland still has lots of balsamroot. In fact, it may be an increaser under grazing. So there's countless hillsides and mountainsides of balsamroot here. They're very long-lived. I'm sure that I'm sure 50, maybe, I don't know about 100, but they do die of old age eventually. But they're such a strong taproot that it has a outer coating that is like rock hard. It looks kind of like cottonwood bark, but it's like rock hard. And then the inside is like a rope that they tie ships up with. It looks just kind of like a braided rope. And when that goes down into the ground and sinks in there, it is very difficult to get out. It's the second hardest root to dig, right after redwood's number one. But the Native Americans out in the prairies, where they were sleeping at night and they needed to stake their horses so they wouldn't run off or get stolen or whatever, they would clear around the base of a big balsam root plant and tie their horse to the balsam root plant because it could never pull it up. So there's a hitching post. So these things are incredibly tough, and it's useful for immune stimulant, and also sort of lung problems. It's sort of an expectorant, kind of like elecampane, for instance. So it's said that it's a fair amount like echinacea in terms of its properties. It doesn't have the spice or anything, but it's a wonderful medicinal. Should be used more in the world, and there's a lot of it out there. So anyway, Balsamorhiza sagittata, we sell that in our catalog. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually have one experience with balsam root. Really, it happened in the Columbine School with Howie Brownstein, and one day during class we actually dug up a root, and I can attest to it. I want to say there was a group of like 4 of us, and we were at it for like 2 hours trying to get that thing up, and it's still I still don't think we got the full root, but one of my favorite things about it, and I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I really love the smell of the root. I want to say Howie described it as like grandpa's cologne or something like that.
Well, balsam root, any plant that's got the word balsam in, is going to be fragrant, because that's, that term means fragrant.
And that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks so much for listening to the HerbRally podcast. If you'd like to hear more from us here at HerbRally, we now have a text message community, believe it or not. Basically, it's just updates from us. We send about 1 to 7 texts per week, notifying you about new events, videos, courses, podcasts. You get the idea. It's pretty much like our email newsletter, just in text form. So if you'd like to receive text messages from HerbRally, just text JOIN, that's JOIN, to the number 541-256-2895. Again, that's JOIN to number 541-256-2895. And to stop receiving texts, that's easy too. Just text STOP to the same number. It'll opt you out immediately. Okay, thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of your day.